She might still, I think she's still meeting with
Okay, come on in, come on in. It's rainy and dreary.
Yeah, always.
Is it at least like getting closer to 50?
It's 56 today.
Yeah, it's
Supposed to be.
I feel like I can handle the all day rain when I'm not like,
Yesterday was like
Freezing.
winter. It
Yeah.
was freezing cold.
yeah, I came out of my house, walking down my steps and went whoop, because it's 7:15 in the morning. It was a solid sheet of ice on my steps. And my neighbors started coming out and I was yelling at the kids. I was like, oh my gosh, watch out. This thing. Huh? 42? No, it's on its way out. It's coming. Yeah, it was like gonna be like mid-70s by the weekend.
Yeah.
Yes. Come on in. Does everyone have a sheet? Who needs a sheet?
Tara's gonna need
You need one of these?
Hi. Who's here?
Not right now.
Come sit on this side.
Oh, yeah. Here, come right here. Come right here.
Hello. You ready for
Ah,
my
listen.
Okay.
Great. Good. Okay.
No, that's good.
All right. Got people in the waiting room. There we go. All right, we have a jam-packed meeting today. Welcome. All right, thank you. Let's go. We have a lot to go over today. Really important stuff. So we're gonna get started. And go. All right, first of all, happy birthday. Anyone in here? No one's in here for birthdays. So these are March birthdays. It's funny because there's a lot less in March than I feel like there was in January and February. So like that 9 months before, what's going on in March? We got not as many people in March. But, so if you see any of these guys, make sure you get a happy birthday. Yeah. All right, here we go. February newcomers! Yay! We've got Nellie's in the room, so everyone welcome Nellie. Newcomer. And Brielle's right there. Wow. So these guys just joined in February. You guys just passed your test, so that's exciting. And you were here learning, right? Contracts? Yes. Okay.
I'm Sarah.
Great. And then when we have our February newcomers, we have our growth partners. So all these lovely people on the screen. So thank you for sending us referrals. And bucket fills. Let's start with bucket fills. Who has a bucket fill?
A bucket fill for you. Thank you for you helping me finally get my postcard done.
Yes.
For Pete's sakes.
Yes, we put our minds together and figured out the Canva. So a tip, if you guys are designing postcards in Canva and you're gonna send them out through command, you wanna make sure that you adjust the size based on the
Pixel.
pixels, the PXs.
In Canva.
In
Yeah,
Canva,
yes.
and then that makes it much easier to upload in command. So we learned that, we got it going,
Yes.
and that looks good. And those are gonna go out this week?
Yeah.
I have a bucket fill.
Yep.
From Margaret.
Yeah.
His friend. Yeah, she just helped me a lot, even while she was at family reunion, like set up a call, I think on her way to family reunion. And then talked to Bo for me about a situation and just did an amazing job. So thank you. I felt really supported, which is important when you're out in the field by yourself, you know, to be able to have a lifeline. I feel like there's somebody to call up.
Thank you.
I will also fill Maggie's bucket because it's really great when I have people like, who do I talk to about this? I'm like, Maggie. And then I get a text response from that agent, like, I already talked to her. It's great. It's already been solved. And so I appreciate you because that's huge help for me.
Yes.
Definitely. In the market center.
That's what I hope. Lindsay takes on everything. So she could get my bucket fill every week, but she call me if you guys have contract questions and stuff, please. I learn from every question. So it's good.
Yeah. Sometimes there's doozies like, ooh.
Yeah. I'm like, I don't know. I have to research that and call you back because I'm not 100%.
We're all
Called the
learning.
legal hotline for me the other day.
I did. That's I called them several times. They're probably sick of me. I'm like, hey, it's me again.
They're
Gotta
gonna
do
start
something.
answering and be like, all right, Maggie, what do you got?
What do you need now?
Yeah.
Should I just go to law school at this point?
All right, well, let's keep moving. Again, we've got a lot to cover today. Awards banquet is tonight.
Tonight, who's
Yeah.
coming?
Who's coming tonight? I need more hands than that. Come on.
Yo,
I need
I'm
more
wearing a
hands.
fancy
This
dress.
whole room is gonna transform. So see it now, and then in about 3 hours, it's gonna look completely different. So please come tonight. We've got appetizers, drinks. People will be here, networking opportunity. It's a lot of fun. So I will see you all tonight.
Excited to celebrate with you guys.
Yes. Kelly will be here, Tara will be here, Bo will be here, everybody. We'll be there, Nick and Sarah. Awesome. Thank you guys. All right, moving along. Wrong way. Okay, training calendar. Lauren has finished the training calendar. You have a copy on here. We've got some exciting classes. Please, tomorrow morning, I'm teaching Win with Buyers, so come hang out with me for 3 hours. I will have multiple cups of coffee, so I will be ready to go. So that's tomorrow morning at 9 o'clock. Also, keeping ahead, looking ahead, next Tuesday, we pushed our family reunion. Next Tuesday is going to be unpacking family reunion, everything. So all the graphics that were shared in the vision speech, we've got Peter Chabris, he's gonna be here in person on Tuesday.
Oh,
So he is going to unpack everything from family reunion. Everyone who attended family reunion, we're gonna do multiple panels. There's so much that we learned from family reunion, we cannot wait to share with you all. So next Tuesday, make sure you're here for that. Immediately following Peter's class or team meeting, Peter is teaching a finance class for realtors. So that's a 2-hour class with Peter. So just plan on hanging out all day next Tuesday. It'll be a good one. Our theme this month is a lot with the finances. So at the end of the month, on March 31st, we are going to have a bookkeeper come in. He's Kyle Harrison. He's also our bookkeeping affiliate. He is going to be talking about P&Ls in that team meeting as well. So lots of numbers. Yes. In
also,
touch.
I just want to remind people that are potentially coming into the brokerage that they're free to attend any of our meetings.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Come get us at 5.
Yeah, so if you know anyone.
Invite your friends.
Our meetings are always on Tuesdays at 11 o'clock, so
Yes.
come anytime.
Absolutely, thank you for that. Okay, and we have a new, speaking of finances, it's our theme, we have a new affiliate.
Oh.
So, Trent, he's over there, everyone welcome Trent, he is with, how do you say that?
Rosalo,
Rosalo Financial Group. Yeah.
RMGs, that's why we put it in there.
RFG, okay. So he just joined our affiliate program. We're gonna be scheduling some classes with him and then also have him speak. So he's gonna hang out. Please introduce yourself. And he'll be around today. And Maggie can vouch for him.
Yeah, he does
Thank
my
you,
stuff.
Maggie.
He's good.
Yes. Thank you for
He deals with my crazy, so.
Okay.
Yeah,
You know
my
we go
crazy.
crazy, we go with that.
Yeah, my crazy little bit.
Just kidding.
Okay. Kelly, you ready?
Maybe.
Do you want my microphone here so everyone can hear you online?
Sure. Who read the article that came out on Housing Wire with Gary last week? Maggie did.
Yeah, you sent it out.
Oh, was that
real.
Yes.
Gary sent it out again this morning.
I don't think
I clicked on
Who
it.
did?
Gary.
Oh,
His-
Gary sent it this morning. I haven't checked my email today.
The Chew, did you get that email?
Oh, yeah.
It came in that email and I clicked on it this morning.
So who knows what's going on with the lawsuits with Compass and all the things and the Redfin, Zillow? No, I don't know. You ready to talk about it? Who knows what I'm talking about?
Totally
I heard
antitrust.
Who has a
someone
clue?
buying Remax. That's all I heard. Is that bullshit? Okay.
I
It's all
doubt that.
antitrust, right? That's why they're going after them.
I don't have this slide.
Okay, that's okay. So there's a lot, well, Compass is in the news. Why?
They buy Redfin. Or they.
They bought anywhere.
Anywhere.
Anyone know? We know what I'm talking about. No. Okay. Who knows what Compass is?
I've heard of Compass.
Okay, they're not in this market.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I actually moved here. So for those, I know a few of you.
I moved here from Northern Virginia last June, and Northern Virginia, DC area, where Compass was our #1 competitor. So very different than being here, because Compass is in certain markets right now. Normally like higher price point, bigger city markets. They're not really in some of the Midwest is not as prevalent for Compass as like DC, New York, Los Angeles, some of the bigger cities in the higher price point markets. And so that was really their target for a long time. They just purchased the Anywhere conglomerate of brands, which is like your Coldwell Banker, your C21, your Better Homes and Gardens, your Sotheby's is in there, Christie's. I don't have
Berkshire.
Berkshire.
No.
No, I don't think so, but there's like 10 different brands within the Anywhere companies. And so it's gonna be really interesting. They did close on that transaction. There was some DOJ stuff of whether it was gonna create the monopoly and they were gonna, but they closed on it anyway, so we'll see what happens with that. It's very controversial because they are different brands and brokerages. Some of them are corporate, some of them are franchised. So it's very interesting that they basically bought the parent companies of all of that. They did that, in my opinion, not just my opinion, but for a number of reasons. One is because Compass built out the agent platform and a brand, but they didn't really have the affiliate like title, mortgage, and insurance that Anywhere has built. So as you know, with Keller Williams, Michelle's here somewhere, but we have now mortgage and title that our agents can actually participate in. So you can actually, you have to qualify through production, but you can buy into those companies and own a piece of our title and mortgage. The market center doesn't really make money off of shares of that company. It's the owners of the company, as in our agents, that make money off of our title and mortgage joint ventures. Does that make sense? Mm-hmm. Well, if you look at a company like Anywhere, it's more, they're making the money off of those. Their agents don't get to make money off of those partners or joint ventures. They're company-owned companies. So Compass went after them for that reason. Not really the agents. They went after them because of the affiliate income, because there's commission compression in real estate. The only way that Compass can make money is taking more money from their agents, unless they have title, mortgage, insurance. Make sense?
Yes.
So now so that's the other side of the Anywhere acquisition. The other thing that they do, and very heavily when I competed against them, is a off-market listing strategy. So they teach their agents a 4-phase listing strategy. One is I sell it to our, so before, like if I go on a listing appointment, this is actually how I present to my seller as well, that we're gonna shop it to our agents inside of our office. We're gonna go to our databases with that listing. We're gonna go on Compass coming soon, and then we'll go to MLS. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Now, who thinks that that's the best strategy?
Not for the seller.
Well, it really depends, right? We are not here, and what Gary's article, when you read it, says is we are not here to determine what's best for our seller. What we're here to do is give them the best options and help them decide through disclosing what they're gaining or losing by going through the MLS. So when Compass is teaching this strategy, and Robert Rivkin has been very vocal, and it's why Zillow is in a battle with them, is because they want to sell all of their properties off market. And this is my personal being recorded, but they want to sell everything off market for the benefit of Compass. Right. Not necessarily for the benefit of the seller. Because if I shop the listing that I have coming soon to only Compass agents, or eventually Anywhere agents, am I leaving something on the table potentially?
You're not following your fiduciary duty to the seller because you're not giving them complete exposure to their property. You're giving them the opportunity for higher
Right, so
selling
what-
prices.
Right, so let's just say our fiduciary duty is to our seller to get them what the highest price in the best time period or whatever, but really it's to reach their goals. So if they want to stay off market, but they fully understand the risks, so a lot of, I don't know, in this area, do they have an MLS form if they want to go off market, they have to sign?
Yeah.
Delayed
Okay.
entry.
We do.
They have to sign from the MLS saying, I'm giving up the opportunity to go to the market, open market on the MLS. I'm giving up the opportunity to market my property to the masses, right? So Compass, the reason that they're also in a lawsuit with Zillow right now, which is why they also partnered with Redfin recently to have their coming soon published on Redfin, because Zillow won't publish them.
I saw.
So if a Compass agent goes coming soon internal to Compass, and let's say they go to that fourth strategy, which is actually going on the market because it didn't sell internally, it will not syndicate to Zillow after 30 days of being coming soon.
Zillow announced that last year.
Yeah, so
And won
so Compass, and then we're in a lawsuit about it, which Zillow actually won. Or they're, I don't know if they won the whole thing, but they're moving forward with it, with the right to do it. So, because they did, and they're basically saying, if you don't want to be on the market, then we're not going to help you be on the market. If your initial strategy didn't work for you, well, sorry. That makes sense? So Gary's article is not against a coming soon or off market strategy. It's actually pro disclosing to the consumer what the benefits or the pros and cons are. So he's not saying whether it's right or wrong. He's just saying that we should inform our customers and clients to their rights and what they're missing out on if they don't go to the MLS. And by the way, Zillow's thing is not just against Compass agents, it's anyone who does the delayed entry, which is not very popular outside of their strategy. Make sense? Thoughts?
So there will be a disclosure form. That is.
Well, Keller Williams published an optional disclosure. That's up to us locally whether we implement that or not, which it just came out this week. I think with our delayed entry MLS form, it's enough. We'll have discussions whether but they have an optional form that they came out with this week that you can basically cover your butt with your sellers if they want to go private, exclusive, off market, whatever, coming soon. That you're disclosing to them that they're losing out of benefits like syndicating to Zillow, or going out to more, to your point, having the most eyes on your property.
Right.
Now, Compass agents will argue that they'll demand a higher price in their off-market portal, but how do you really know? Like in my old market, and we get multiple offers here too. I mean, you go on the MLS and with an appropriately priced property that's presented well, you might still get multiple offers, right? There's still lack of inventory. And so how do you really know that smaller buyer pool is going to give you the best for your sellers? You don't. So it's our seller's decision. And we're not pushing our own agenda the way that Compass is really doing.
No, there's a new seller disclosure.
Yeah, so I wanted to say two things. I'll stand for just a second. I'll come stand by you. I'm not gonna like do a speech, but so with the limited marketing disclosures, you cannot market to anybody outside of our brokerage. So make sure that you know that. If it's not on the MLS, you're violating clear cooperation. If you don't know what clear cooperation is, go read about it. It's on the MLS. You can't go to your Coldwell Banker friend and say, hey, I've got this off market listing. It has to stay in-house or else it's not legal. And you could get like a $5,000 fine.
You can one-on-one have a conversation. You can't mass market it.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. But you can't put out like an email that says I have this going, and because it's unfair. And then a new housing disclosure is coming out, and it's just for sellers, just for listings, and it's about housing discrimination. It basically just says that the seller understands that these are the housing discrimination laws and they plan to abide by them when listing their property. That's going to be required for every listing. It comes out April 3rd. I don't have the document yet, but as soon as it does, it's going to go into your documents in DocuSign, and you'll have a spot for it in Command as well as a required document for listing.
When you say brokerage, it has to be within our brokerage. Is that Keller Williams set bills or just Keller?
That would be
Seven
Keller
Hills.
Williams,
Seven Hills, yeah.
Yes, so it can be marketed internally if you're not going on MLS to our office.
To our
Yeah.
people. Yeah, you can send out an email to everybody in the brokerage, in our brokerage, like, hey, I have this off-market listing, but you can't send that to
Can't send that to.
Coldwell Banker
Well,
Realty
you know,
down the
there's
street.
20 other Keller Williams.
No, it has to be our,
Yeah, because we're
Our
individual brokerages, yeah. Now Keller Williams is coming out with some tool, they're out, but it's just different how each area is using them, but there's some coming soon portals and things that'll be in command. It's a really hard thing to do nationally because of every jurisdiction is a little different and their rules and disclosures and forms and all the things. So still working on some of those things.
I had a
Okay.
question.
Yes.
Is it the same for, say you have an agent that represented a investor and you have an investor list, can you send it out to that agent on the list or no?
One-to-one, yes. Mass marketing, no.
you can send it to your list, right? Because it's your listing.
Yeah, you can't do a mass marketing, public marketing. But
Right.
yes, you can let your investors know about it, yes.
And let your investors know. but
If
not
you
the
have
agent.
a delayed entry and it gets out of the brokerage, so it gets public, like it's shared
Can
in
you hear
another
Lindsay?
brokerage or whatnot, you are forced to go active immediately on the MLS.
One
Yeah,
calendar
because
day.
that's public, yeah.
So if you're doing the delayed entry, it gets shared outside the brokerage, it becomes public knowledge, you have to be ready to go active, and your sellers need to understand that as well. So that's why the delayed entry has to stay within, you can't email it out, you can't even do like external Facebook posts, but that's why like in our internal connect team, we've got also, you can do office exclusive listings in command, and you can communicate it at team meetings, that's why it's important getting together and doing that RFI.
Any other thoughts, questions?
Thanks for sharing about that Compass stuff. I read an article in the New York Times a couple months ago about it, and I was so confused. So like you explaining it, it's making sense now.
Yeah, that.
You know, sometimes you have to hear things a couple times. You're like, okay.
Yeah, I mean, it was, I'm proficient in it because I've had to compete against it with our agents, yeah. And, you know, we don't know yet how that acquisition of, because we are much more familiar here with all of those other brands that are now under the Compass umbrella. So it'll be interesting on how they get their strategies into the hands of those other agents. But I just truly believe in what Gary has to say, which is that it's us informing our clients about what their options are and letting them decide with our consultation and not pushing our own agenda.
Cool, yeah, thank you. All right, we're gonna keep going. Okay, so here's a question. We're gonna switch gears. Here's a question for you all. When you think about going into the March busy season, how many leads do you have in your pipeline? So when someone walks up to you and says, what's in your pipeline? What's active in your pipeline? What do you say? So Tony, what's active in your pipeline right now?
Everything.
Everything?
Everything.
How many buyers? How many
Everything.
listings do you have?
I don't know, 7 buyers, 3 sellers,
7 buyers, 3 sellers?
maybe. No, actually.
He's lost count.
I've lost count. Yeah.
Last count.
Oh, that's a bad problem to have.
Yes.
That's a really good problem.
That's a good problem to have, right? Well, so when I ask you, when you think about what's in your pipeline, is that just who you're actively going on showings with?
No.
No, okay.
It's somebody I talked to last week that said, hey, we want to sit down with you and we want to get into a bigger property and sell what we're in.
Okay.
They're going in.
Yeah. So it's not just who you're actively going and showing houses to, it's who you're nurturing into being potential income. So when you want to know what your potential pipeline could yield you in funds, Who uses opportunities for their pipeline? Who uses opportunities just to get paid? And beyond, and that's fine, just to get paid. That's fine. So we have a underutilized tool in our system that we can customize. And if you look in your packet right here, Tara has put together a breakdown of opportunity stages. Oh, yeah. And I'm gonna show you how to update it, but here's what I'm also gonna do. On Fridays, so you guys know, every Friday at 10 a.m., I'm doing a command workshop of some sort. So I'm gonna go through this because we have other information to go over. But please know, we're gonna go into this in great detail on Friday at 10. But this right here, this is command opportunity stages, all right? In your command, if you go into the handshakes, you can fully customize your entire database for your lead or your entire opportunity to give you a pipeline for your business so that you can compute over here on the right-hand side what your potential income is and what your probable income is. Now you're gonna ask on here, there's percentages. So on these percentages, and these are, Tara has calculated these for you, this is the probability of turning into income. So when you add in, you customize your pipeline, you can add in the probability, and this is gonna help you look at your database, look at your pipeline, and see what your potential income is. Now to adjust this, I'm gonna pull up my slide. So I'm gonna jump into my listings here. So I'm just gonna drop on to Cultivate. I can click on stages and checklists, and I can update my pipeline, my opportunities to customize for my business. So right here, I'm in the Cultivate. So I have a nurture of 60 days, which is a probability of 10%. Why would that be 10% for someone I'm just cultivating? So in your cultivate phase, that's where you're going to be dumping. You have to think of a funnel, right? We're dumping all of our leads into the cultivate stage at the beginning because these are people we're nurturing. This is long-term business. So of all those leads that you're dumping into your business, about 10% of them will actually turn into a closing. And then as you get further along in this pipeline, the probability jumps up. So on here, these are completely customizable phases, and you can drop in. Now, I'm going to go over this in great length on Friday, so I please ask you to come on Friday at 10. But you can add, I'm just going to show the benefits. In this pipeline, you can add checklists. You can drag and drop people, so it's very easy. If I'm going to go into my cultivate stage, I can take somebody from my nurture and turn them into an appointment, and it's going to put me right in the appointment set. I can attach tasks. So as they move into different phases of the pipeline, you could have, we were just talking your Excel sheet, right? Where you have a checklist of everything that needs to happen. If you move them in the pipeline, all right, so maybe I'm under contract, move Jenna to under contract. It's gonna auto do it. Okay? She's under contract. I'm gonna have a task if this is a buyer that says, okay, well, I need to schedule the appraisal, I need to schedule inspections, I need to do all of this. You can add tasks to each of these different pipelines. Using this command in your pipeline and the different stages is going to kind of help you keep organized with your checklist. So what are one of the things that agents do that screws up your lead gen? What do we do as agents that we don't do?
We don't consistently follow up.
Oh, yes. We don't consistently follow up. How many people have their pipeline on Post-it notes or a piece of paper in their office or a notebook?
Or an open house
Are you
form
trying to
they
embarrass
filled out.
us?
I'm shaming you.
I'm supposed to like raise my
I'm
hand. Yeah, I-
shaming you into giving. I'm just saying,
I
this,
have
we
a-
have to get organized because how many times do we miss opportunities because we don't follow up?
Yeah.
So utilizing this tool in here, and I'm gonna go into this in great detail on Saturday, or Saturday, no Saturday, I'm not gonna be here Saturday. Friday at 10.
So every Friday at 10, you're teaching. a
Every
command
single
class.
Friday at 10, I'm doing command workshops where we're gonna come in, whoever shows up, I'm gonna have a theme topic typically, but whoever shows up, we are gonna go in and get in the nitty gritty. So every
Okay.
single Friday at 10. And just so you know, this came from our education committee on feedback on our training calendar. So anyone who, education committee's meeting today at 1:00, please come in because the feedback from the ALC committees come to leadership and we try to implement that. So it's important.
Who heads the education committee?
Sarah and Nick.
Oh.
And they're on Zoom. Shameless plug. Questions on the pipeline here? Wouldn't you want to know what you're leading? Huh?
You're acting.
You had echo. It's feedback.
I'm
Yeah,
feedback.
it's just feedback.
You're fine.
You're okay now.
Went away.
I will say I did this last night
Mhm.
because Tara sent out a video and I wanted to do it and it helped my mind so much because I used but I didn't realize I could customize it. I used the preset ones and I moved people, but doing my own was so much better.
Yeah.
It's really good.
It is good. So if you're available Friday, please come in, come hang out with me, 10:00, we'll go through this. Oh, education committee's tomorrow at 1, not today. Tomorrow at 1. Okay, let's get back on course and we have some exciting updates with regard to, is Michelle in here?
Yes, she was.
Oh, she's on the
There
phone.
she is.
So we're gonna do, okay, I'm gonna show this graphic real quick. So this was another graphic that Tara shared with us. 48% of salespeople never follow up with a prospect. 25% of salespeople make a second contact and stop. 12% of salespeople make 3 contacts and stop, and 10% of people make more than 3 contacts. 2% of sales are made on the first contact, and then all the way to 80% of sales are made on the 5th or 12th contact. So if you don't have a system in place and follow-up, and you're not consistently following up with your leads, you're losing huge opportunities. Okay, so who's gonna come on Friday?
I am.
Should I bring some Panera?
Yeah.
Little snack? And coffee, of course.
Maybe it's lunch. So.
Okay,
Food.
Michelle?
Yes. Ready.
Yes, we got everyone, who has cash buyers that they're working with?
This mess is for you.
This is for
right.
you.
All right, so I'm just gonna guess these out. This is a little cheat sheet for everybody about FinCEN and
Michelle, I will pass this out if you want to put this on so that people online can hear you.
Okay.
It died.
All right.
So you're gonna want to stand over here by the
yeah, I'm
computer.
getting my notes. Sorry. Log in, can't I, for Gmail? Is it okay if I log in?
Yeah, you're, you want to go on your computer or what do you?
I just have it on the computer. While I'm doing this, I'll start talking about FinCEN, so you don't have to wait. So basically. Oh, sorry. FinCEN, I'll just talk about it, is a reporting tool, which I will compare to like 1099 reporting. So basically that means me as a settlement agency, I'm the one doing all the reporting. And the purpose of FinCEN is for the government to monitor money laundering. So obviously that's not good to have money laundering. So basically what you're gonna be dealing with is that first sheet I gave to you is a really good indicator of whether or not I will have to report FinCEN. And really the only way it's going to affect you is the information that you will need to provide to me and to tell your client that I will have to report. So most of us here probably won't have an issue because our clients are money laundering. But so what we're looking at is cash transactions and people and lending institutions that don't have their inter-office reporting set up for FinCEN. So that can be your hard money lenders. That can be a seller carryback. So that would also be considered a cash deal. And so the information that, and what properties are considered reportable. So it's residential properties up to 1 to 4 families. So that will not include anything over a 4 family, like I'm doing a cash transaction right now, it's a church. So that will not be something that I have to report. In that same case, if it's vacant land and their intent is to build residential property, that is also a reportable instance. So the information that I need to report on the transaction will be the purchaser. What I will need the most, and I will find probably the hardest to get, is if we got a quick cash deal and say the buyer's closing in an LLC and they don't have their tax ID yet. That is something that will stop the closing. They have to have a tax ID set up for an LLC and or a trust. Both of those entities are reportable. Okay, so if you have an individual that is buying in cash, that is not reportable. So they're basically looking for companies that are using entities to launder their money. So that being said, if it's an LLC, I will need to know every operator of that LLC, anyone that has over 25% interest in that LLC will be listed as an owner of that LLC. Same thing goes for a trust, corporation. Basically, the hard stopper for us is gonna be getting that tax ID. I find it a lot of times people will get a trust set up and the attorney gives them a ginormous binder and doesn't tell them what to do with it. They don't know they have to set up a bank account. Some attorneys will set up their tax ID, but not always. They kind of give instructions and say, okay, here I did this part, you gotta finish it. So that's going to be something. So we covered the transferee. So again, it's not an individual. We're looking for companies that have presidents, members, stuff like that. 1 to 4 families, we covered that. So there's some other lenders that they mentioned. I don't know how many of you guys use it, but Farm Credit is going to be another company that I have to report. They don't report themselves. So basically a report on behalf of them.
So hard money loans too, right? Or like
Hard
private
money lenders,
money
because
lenders.
basically they're not under the same RESPA guidelines as our normal lenders that we use, like Mr. Cooper, New Res. They're all already federally regulated. The hard money lenders are a group of guys saying we're willing to loan you money. Yeah, so there are some exemptions. 1031 exchanges will be exempt. Things like a transfer on death affidavit filing. So someone passes away and it transfers to their trust. That would be exempt. Personal transfers into a trust. So husband and wife transferring into their trust, that becomes then exempt. So I'll tell you the reporting requirements. And like I said, the tax ID is the most important thing, but I will need their name, address, their home address, phone numbers, any individual who's signing, anyone that has over 25% ownership in the company. Let's see if there's, I mean, basically that's it, guys.
Will it cost delays?
Huh?
Will it cost delays? Like you mentioned.
No,
the tax ID.
it doesn't. I did some more research on that. We actually have 30 days to file. So, I mean, it's important to let your clients know that I will be filing on their behalf. I can tell them, you can tell them however you want to do that.
So you can close before you file, or you can close before you file, yeah.
Yes, I can close and then file.
Yeah, got it.
So So a good example would be, we have an elderly client that doesn't really do Qualia or email. That can be, as long as they bring all this information to me to closing, we'll be totally fine.
Okay, so you have to make sure you have everything.
Yes,
before
I just have to make sure I have all the information by the time we close and I disperse funds so that we can report. Yes.
I have a question. So for somebody that's, let's say they're doing a land contract with a private money lender. When I say private, is let's say I'm an investor and I have a property and she has a buyer. The buyer does deal directly with me as an investor. Would that be reported? It'd be a land contract, but it's still.
Well, until the land contract is converted, I would imagine you don't report until the conversion. Are you talking about the initial setup or the person's buying it?
Well, I guess both.
Okay, well, it wouldn't have to be reported initially. They do have an interest, but they haven't become the actual owner yet. Yes, so when you finally close up the land contract, they actually buy. That could be potentially, but if they're buying it in their individual name, then no. So if they're buying it in an LLC or something, yes. But like I said, all I need is a tax ID, all their personal information, and then we'll find it out. Okay. You're welcome. Does anybody else have questions? It's not so bad, is it? I kept saying Vincent 3-1, oh my God, what is it?
So like DSCR loans, those are more,
I imagine.
yeah, they're all LLC, they don't loan. So that could be a delay.
Well, it wouldn't
Well,
necessarily delay.
if you're representing a seller, and somebody writes an offer with a DSCR loan, and it's like to be determined, or like, they're gonna form the LLC, that could cause delays.
But
Well, like
that's,
I said, as long as is that,
but it's not cash, that's finance, the DSCR. Is the
but if
lender.
it's a private money lender.
Well, if you did a private money, but if you're getting like a DSCR.
DSCR is private money, that's what
I was thinking.
Oh,
So
even if it's through
just
like a
be
lender.
aware, like, that's not a traditional lending method.
So that will
It's
be,
not
Yeah,
paying
they didn't
credit
know the IN, it
unions.
would cause a delay.
as long as it's brought to closing, that should be okay. Is that something that's set up afterwards in this case?
Well, depends. If you're doing like an entity transfer, or you like a drop and swap, where you're creating that within 10 days, single asset LLC, that's quick claim. I guess you could probably get it to IN in that 10 days.
I would think whoever prepared the, because normally is there a new LLC prepared for the entity transfer? So does an attorney usually do that on your behalf?
Yes.
Your behalf? I would just,
But sometimes it's like you said, they'll do some filing and then give instructions to then go to the Secretary of State to get your EIN. And
Is there a timestamp on that then? So like if the lawyer gives you the stuff and you file for the Secretary of State and your EIN, if it happens the day after closing? Or you're
well, as
saying-
long as I can get confirmation that that attorney, like if I'm interacting with that attorney, I think that'd be a case by case basis, and if I feel.
you have to verify this before you distribute the fund, right?
Yes, and if I can get with the attorney who says, I'm gonna be doing this tomorrow, I'll get it over to you then. I have confidence in that, I'd be okay with that. You know what I'm saying? So like I said, that'll be case by case.
Yeah.
And-
You just have to write it, you have to follow it very closely.
Yes.
And then my other question is, why are they concerned that people are gonna launder money for residential only?
That is a dang
Yeah,
good
yeah,
question.
I
I don't know.
They
Maybe
understand
that's the only thing they can regulate. That's where my thoughts behind it, because I would think the commercial would be a bigger fish to
Higher,
fry.
yeah. Oh,
Yeah, like I said, the only thing I can think of is that they're way into more into regulating residential. Because I think they're protecting the consumers.
always.
Yes. Does anybody else have
Politics. There.
questions?
That's the agenda.
This is kind of off topic, but, did you pull a bunch of stuff off the printer before you came in here?
I did.
I printed a bunch of stuff.
Okay, I got it.
Find it. So if you can
Look
tell
at
me
that
where
stack.
I-
Oh, no, wait, it's this stack.
Is it that stack? Okay, thanks.
Which printer though?
This one by
No,
you.
that wasn't me.
Oh.
I've been using the back office since
Stole Emily's.
all my
print.
people, all you people are here, so I switched.
Okay.
Okay,
It wasn't that exciting, so it's okay.
okay.
Oh, and one more question.
Sure.
It says easement is an exemption.
Yeah,
What's that mean?
I mean, I guess filing a new easement. Oh, that's your phone.
Filing a new easement?
It's weird. I know. I'll have to get clarification on that. I read that and I don't know what they mean by
If
that.
there's an easement already recorded?
Good questions.
Sorry,
I'll find out more on that.
I thought it was stump Michelle.
Good job, Brian. All right, anybody else? Great. Thank you guys so much.
Thank you.
You're
Michelle.
welcome. I'm always available if you want to swing by for more questions.
Got Jennifer Shields here. Love it. We had all of our special guests today.
We haven't seen you pretty face in a while.
I know. How's everybody?
Good. What do you got for us?
Well, yes. I didn't see you by.
I ran into you. Yeah, I ran into her. It was like, yeah, among 17,000 people.
Right?
Okay, good. How does that happen?
Yeah. I heard next year it's Dallas, right?
Yeah, which is in a different time zone, isn't it?
Yeah. I don't know. Atlanta was kind of too spread out in my opinion.
It's a lot of walking.
But I had fun. Okay, so the last time I was here, I've kind of been liking this theme of doing some education and sprinkling in fun. So I have 3 books to give away to the top 3 winners. So I'm going to ask you 10 questions. We're going to talk about investment properties and DSCR loans and just how to look for borrowers that might qualify for that. The book is Tim Grover, Relentless. I don't know if anybody's read it. From good to great to unstoppable, and it's all about mental toughness. So definitely a good read. And then for anyone that's interested in I try to buy things that I feel like people would use rather than trash promotional items. So these are to clean your glasses or your computer. So, and as you know, I am Jennifer Shields. So my tagline is Shield the Deal. So what that means to me is that I give you great service. I'm honest with my clients and your clients. I have a ton of experience. These are how my last name is, Shield. So service oriented is S, honest is H, experienced is E. And then I is innovative, so I am very creative and loyal, so take
Are
great
those
care of you.
flying
and your
Dachshunds on
clients.
your sweatshirt?
Yes.
You know how else I look at that, Jennifer? I look at it as you protect everybody like a shield.
Yeah, yeah.
That's
Ooh,
how
I
always
like
thought
that.
shield was shield.
I've never thought
Yeah.
of that.
Oh, you've never thought of shield as shield?
No.
That's how I always saw it.
Oh, that's
Isn't that
funny.
weird? Yeah.
So you thought the same thing?
Yeah, I
see,
saw
that's
shield
what I
as
thought
shield.
when I
Yeah.
saw it.
Okay. I
Shield
like
the
that.
deal.
I think, well, so, let me give you a really quick example of something I did this week so that it'll kind of prompt your mind of how to refer and when to call me. So I had an agent, she called and she was kind of frantic. She said, we found this house we want and we made an offer and the loan officer thought they could do it. And then they called back and said that they couldn't. And she's like, I thought of you because I know that you can put things together. I'm literally in TJ Maxx, like picking pillows out. And I was like, she's like, I need an
Your
answer in
favorite
2
place.
hours. Do you think you could help? So the borrower was a police officer and he it was complicated. His credit score was a little low and he couldn't go USDA also, but like he had everything he needed, right? Good income, decent credit, like you're kind of looking at him and you're like, I got 2 hours to figure this out. And I know that there's something here, but like, I'm kind of taking I got to put a little bit like creativeness to this. I can't just the other loan officer was basically like, no. And I'm like, there's probably something here, So we got it under contract.
I did a rescore, I got his credit score up, and then he's closing. And then turns out I did the hero loan with OFA, and then he'd owned a property with his ex-wife. So then he didn't qualify for the higher rate, but then we went back and got an exception from the state of Ohio for the lower rate because he didn't occupy it for the last 3 years. So like, these are all little things that like, you know, it takes a lot to go through those extra steps. Like, it would have been easier just to say no. But like, the agent's like, I really need this deal. And the client's like, I really love this house, you know, and like, for me, that pulls at my heartstrings, like, okay, you know, like, it's not the easiest deal and it's not the cleanest, but it's definitely doable. And I know that I can make it work. So I pulled it together and now we're cleared to close. So anyway, just an example of kind of the things we do that you guys don't know behind the scenes. Because everyone can tell you about product and everyone can tell you that they're good. And I know that there are a lot of great loan officers out there. So I just speak to what I do. And that is like, I don't give up when there's a little bit of extra like meat on the bone. I'll push to the next, you know, level to help.
And forgo the billings.
Yes. Yeah, I have one in my car. I bought one. I can't find the match. Now I got to go back and return it. Keeps me like, so Kelsey knows. Kelsey is my, whenever I'm stressed or like looking for a little
Pick me up.
downtime, I go to Home Goods and browse. That's kind of my thing, you know, smell the candles, buy things I don't need. So anyway, hopefully that was helpful. But so I want you to think about financing strategies that help clients buy more real estate, right? So DSCR is, so the first question, and I'm gonna have you keep track of how many you get right. So a DSCR loan stands for what? I'm gonna give you 4. So it's DSCR. Debt service coverage ratio is A. Debt service credit report is B. Down payment service credit rule is C. Or debt standard coverage rate is D.
A.
Yes. So debt service coverage means the debt that you're taking out on the loan is covered by the rent. And so that's what the beauty of a DSCR loan is. You don't have to have income to qualify. It's the property that's qualifying the loan, okay? Number 2, DSCR loans are primarily used for A, primary residences, B, investment properties, C, land purchases, or D, second home only.
Investment.
B, yes. 3, a DSCR of 1.0 means A, the property loses money, B, rental income exactly covers the mortgage payment, C, the borrower has perfect credit, or D, the home doubled in value.
Covers.
A, or B, the rent exactly covers the mortgage payment. What type of property allows FHA buyers to use rental income most commonly? So you're buying an FHA loan and you're using rental income to help support your ability to make the mortgage payment. Is it A, single family only, B, 2 to 4 unit with owner occupancy, C, commercial property, or D, vacation home?
B.
Yep, B. These might be too easy, and then I'm only gonna have 3 books, but everyone gets everyone gets one of these if you want one. What is the minimum down payment for most FHA loans? A is 20%, B is 10, C is 3.5, and D is 5. Yep, C. FHA typically allows lenders to use how much rental income to qualify?
70%.
A 100%, B 85%, C 75%, D 50%. C, yes, you can use 75%. So what that means is if you have a 2-family and your borrower is going to live in the property, okay, and the other unit rents for, let's say, $1,000, you can add $750 to the borrower's income to help them qualify. So that's really helpful because sometimes they might have a good job and they might have good credit and they might have the down payment, but they're buying something that exceeds what they could qualify for. So that rental income on that other unit can help them purchase the home. What document is used to estimate rental income during the appraisal process? A, title commitment, B, rent schedule, C, credit report, D, purchase contract. B, rent schedule. Right, so on both DSCR loans and on like FHA or conventional, the forms can be different, but in general, the appraiser is the one that determines what that rent is. So back to the first question where we said like 1.0, when you're doing a DSCR purchase for a borrower and you're estimating the rental income, we got to be careful that we're using the correct amount, because like I've had times where the appraiser thinks it will rent for less than it really might, and then that could mess up the DSCR numbers. So even though we're pre-approving the borrower on that, we're using like a fictitious number that we don't have verified until the appraiser comes out. If there's leases on the property, or you can pull for your lender rent for the area, that can be helpful. But I have had situations where it gets a little difficult, because like I had one in Goshen and it was a 5-bedroom and there just were not any comparables. So it was frustrating, because it was like, well, obviously a 5-bedroom on a couple acres is going to have good rent, but they had to find things that were similar, and that kind of defies, sometimes lending defies like your mind. It's frustrating because you're like, I mean, this doesn't make sense, but like it has to fit in the box.
Yeah.
On conventional loans, lenders usually count what percentage of rental income? A, 100, B, 90, C, 75, or D, 60. We just shifted to conventional versus FHA. The answer is C, 75% as well. So at least they got it. There's some consistency in lending. There's not a lot of consistency. I usually still, after all these years, look up things just to like double check myself. Like she Googled something yesterday on USDA loan, manufactured housing. And then I asked the scenario desk and she's like, I just told you the answer. I'm like, I just want to hear it twice. Like, just because sometimes Google's wrong, sometimes my brain remembers something wrong. And the last thing I want to do is like put a pre-approval out there and then be checked up later and then have to admit that I screwed up. So I usually just double check anyway. If a borrower already owns rental property, income is typically verified using A, pay stubs, B, bank statement, bank deposits only, C, tax returns, or D, utility bills. Yes. So if you, this is kind of a catch-22. So if you are, like I have had clients that have had multiple rental properties in the same year. If it's in the year that they bought it, you can use the lease agreement. But once it rolls into the next tax year, you have to default to the tax returns.
All schedules.
Yes. And just make sure that like if you're selling multiple rental properties to one borrower, you're explaining them that it's really important to get with their accountant and their loan officer and get a strategy of how they're going to write things off, because they get really excited and they write everything off and then they are like, but I'm not losing money. And you're like, no, you actually are, because we go off the tax return. So if you told the IRS you're losing money, then you're losing money. And that's where a DSCR loan might come into play for that same borrower, is then I don't need tax returns. I would just use the property. The one thing I did want to say, and I had a question, but I took it out, is you do need reserves to buy rental properties. So you don't necessarily have to worry about their income as much, but you need enough money that like they can pay future mortgage payments, even though they're not bringing that money to closing. So you just have to be careful that you're not recommending these types of loans to people who might be very poor in assets. They can use sometimes gifts from family. So I've had situations where they got a gift and then they give it back later, but you have to have like basically yes, you can use rental income, which is more risky, but if the tenant moves out, the investors want to know that you can make the mortgage payment for a month or two until you get a new tenant.
Reserves are going to be based off not just that payment, but your global.
Yeah. So if you own multiple properties, it depends, but yeah, I mean, to Brian's point, like if you own 3 rental properties and you have 3 mortgages and they're all 3,000, then your monthly reserve is 9,000. It's not 3,000 for the subject property.
How many months out of reserve?
3 to 6. So I mean, it can get, that's what holds people back from buying rental properties. It's not usually that they can't qualify for credit. It's that they don't have enough reserves.
DSCR loans typically higher interest rates.
A little bit, but not that much more than investment property loans for Fannie Freddie. Yeah. So you're talking probably about a point to a point and a half higher than the market on a primary. But usually they're looking at it for investment anyway, so the numbers are, interest tax deductible and stuff, it just needs the cash flow. And why do lenders typically only account 75% of the rental income? A, to account for vacancies and maintenance, B, interest rate adjustments, C, insurance requirements, or D, HOA guidelines. Correct, right. So, okay, everyone get all of them?
I think William got almost all of
Did you get all of them? Anyone else got 9?
them. He's actually.
Who got 10?
Keep trying.
I just talked about this.
Okay, so I have 3 books. So 1, William, Brian. All right. I have 4 books in my office. If you would like a book, contact me and we'll have lunch and I'll give you a book. That way it's fair.
Okay, I like that deal.
All right, and then I'll leave these up here if anyone wants one. But call me for anything that you need.
Do you have a card?
I have this and you can text me and I'll send you my contact
She's who I told
information.
you about yesterday.
My phone number, you can put in your phone, is 513-603-3630.
It's such a good book. Oh, I'll take it.
Yeah, anyone wants one, they're up here. So, and then we got Skyline for lunch.
Thank you. Okay. All right, thank you, Jennifer. Okay, and that concludes today's team meeting, except for we're gonna do I have, I need. So I have, I need, and then we'll eat some food. Who's got some stuff?
I have a listing right now in Goshen. It's not coming, it's already there. You need to go see it.
How many?
Is it the modern, is it the modern one?
It's
No, that's the
four
new
bedrooms, and it's the best lot in the whole DR Horton neighborhood. It's right, you walk out the back to the lake.
Is it a DR Horton home?
Yes, but, it's only, it's not that old, but you should come see it. I think it's 429 lot.
Where's it at again?
It's in Goshen. It's
Goshen?
DR Horton.
Okay.
So if you've got somebody that needs something new construction, doesn't wanna wait to build it months and months and months.
Yeah.
Come on.
You should reach out to Dawn Eisenhower and her group, because they have the
Yeah.
IMAO out in Goshen.
Dawn Eisenhower.
ISENHOW.
She's super sweet. You will love her.
Yeah, I feel like we're friends on Facebook.
She's so nice.
All right, who else says I have, I need?
Mine's a month out, so I don't.
I have,
Hey, guys, we're still doing I have, I need. What do we got?
I have 3-2 in Morrow, probably coming in 12 days. It's all been completely rehabbed. Cutest little bungalow. It's on the Little Miami Bike Trail, right kind of downtown Morrow.
How much?
It'll be like 260 probably.
What's the square footage?
15. Cute little like Cape Cod bungalow. 2 bath though.
Who else? I have, I need.
All right.
Okay, well, I will see you guys all tonight at the award ceremony, yes, and Jennifer Shield brought lunch, so please enjoy some lunch. If you have, I needs, and want to communicate those out too during lunch, please do that, and I appreciate you all. Thank you.
Thanks, Lindsay.